Solution, solution. What's the word? What is the word? What is the word? You already know it's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. You understand? And that's a whole fact. But you know, just wanna, pop out, let y'all know what's going on with the kid. Ain't much. What I mean? Still doing what I'm doing, working. You know what I mean? Nothing major. But other than that, I see there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? Minute though, but there's a lot going on. You dig? Ain't nothing to it, but to do it. I know a lot of people seeing my last live and they like, yo, you having audio issues and this and that. And I'm like, nah, it's not an audio issue. You know what I'm saying? It's just, certain people, right now, the way this YouTube thing is going, it don't even, some people don't deserve a response. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know what I do. I just go mute. You know what I mean? Do a little 40 minutes and go mute on them. You know what I mean? That's just me letting you know how I feel about whoever, got something to say about your boy 050 Bucks, aka the Dark Side General, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. You dig? They say silence is a mother, man. You understand me? So that's what that is. You know what I mean? So as y'all see, I did a part 1 and a part 2. You know what I mean? Some people can't fathom that. They, they be stuck. Oh, some of it went over a lot of people's head. Pause. But that's what that is, man. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to it. Some light. You know what I mean? But stick around, man. You know what I mean? We got a little something to talk about. You know what I mean? And I just want y'all to know and understand I'm still in the building. Still doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And we got some good things coming up, man. You know what I mean? Some good things coming up. And we gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Welcome to the other side. 30 seconds. No filters, no rules. Content is king. Watch at your own risk. Dedicated grind music. Dedicated grind music. Yeah. 30 seconds, dark side of the net. Friend to the day, but tomorrow we a threat. No face, no case. Get dragged by an avatar. Cash app, super chat. We gon' take it far. 30 seconds, the place with no control. I can't control black, hot, dark soul. From the streets to the sidewalks, coast to coast. On YouTube, we the ones that really do the most. Watch at your own risk, we exposing all the fake. Cloud wars popping off, everybody raise the stakes. Screenshots loaded, receipts get aired. Say the wrong name, and your brand get teared. Enemies in silence, then friends online. Whole sector in flames, just to keep the vibe. Clickbait title, drama all in the mix. Dirty set it coded, you ain't built for this. 30 seconds, dark side of the net. Friends to the day, but tomorrow we a threat. No face, no case, get dragged by an avatar. Cash app, super chat, we gon' take it far. 30 seconds, the place with no control. I can't control black, heart, dark soul. In the streets, to the sidewalks, coast to coast. On YouTube, we the ones that really do the most. Content is king, better guard your crown. Cause the sector love to tear the biggest channels down. Ops in the comments, snakes in the chat. One wrong move, ain't no coming back. Algorithms feeding on the beef we spark. We turn YouTube live to a battleground park. Drill beat knocking, got the sector on fire. love, just smoke. Every lie is a gamble, every word is a joke. Be whoever you want, gangster or past. In a dirty sec, the chaos move fast. Dirty sec, dark side of the net. Friend to the day, but tomorrow we a threat. No face, no case, get dragged by an avatar. Cash app, super chat, we gon' take it far. Dirty sec, the place with no control. I can't control, black heart, dark soul. From the streets to the sidewalks, coast to coast. On YouTube, we the ones that really do the most. Dedicated grind music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In that order, you understand? In that order, shout out to my man, Renegade Society Production. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man, El Plaga Trey Pound 7, aka Mr. Movie. See you out there working, man. Keep working, keep doing you, man. Keep winning, man. You understand me? But, neither here or there. Yeah, it's a lot going on out there. It's a lot going on out there, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of situations that is being entertained that I feel, but who am I? But I just feel it shouldn't be entertained. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of great things coming up, you know what I mean, for the kid. So, this is what I call playing it safe. You understand? Don't want to kill my blessings before they come. You understand me? So shout out to Artie, you know what I'm saying? And the light side. You dig? We got something going on. Um, uh, 30 second hip hop. We'll be bringing that to y'all, real soon. It'll be 5 episodes. Pretty much breaking down each borough and who is the best rapper from that borough. So that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I got the Celebrity Bozo Awards that'll be dropping. I wanted to. It may drop Friday. I may do something Friday. If not this Friday, definitely next Friday. But I'm looking forward to being this Friday. I'm saying I see a lot of people. They thinking either the award show is done. A lot of people wanting it back. So just trying to put that together. And try to do a little upgrades. I definitely would like to start something, as far as like dealing with the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the chat monsters. You know what I'm saying? I want like 5 people, you know what I mean, to get ahead and kind of like represent the chat. You know what I mean? So like in the future, a time to come, we could do some, the where's though we could put a little more light on the chat. You know what I mean? I think they deserve it. As we know, for those who want to be honest, the chat makes the show or it could break the show. You know what I mean? To be real with you. You know what I'm saying? But the chat is its own show, man, within the show, man. That part I will say. So, with all that being said, we got that. So look forward to that. We got the new merch coming, as well as the website for the merch. Not my business website, but the website for the merch. We got that coming. It'll just be for the merch, as I said. Shout out to my man, We Rebuilding We. I see he working on some good things. I don't mind being part of, which is you know, the YouTube dark side TV guide. So I want to kind of see where that's going, and be a part of that. Anything with growth, man, I'm with it, man. You know what I mean? I'm definitely with it, man. I was watching Jim Jones joint, was that artist to artist, man. And it was the Kevin Lyles. I want to say that was Kevin Lyles, man. And they said some real touching things on there, man. You know what I mean? Like real touchy things. It was, to me, one of the best shows that I seen of Jim Jones. You know what I mean? That I can literally say I respect that. You know what I mean? Because some of these people, they need to hear that free game. And what I took out of it, uh, pretty much, in my words, is being a helper, man. You know what I mean? Some people want to jump the chain and just automatically become a boss and, things of that nature, which I'm not saying that you should downgrade yourself to just only a helper. Nah, I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? You can also, become a helper while holding the boss title as well. So he asked him a question like, what do you want people to remember you as, when it's all said and done? And I like Jim answer, you know what I mean? But I like Kevin Lyle's answer as well. And for me, it's just that, you know what I mean? Help. You know, when I leave this situation, that's what I would like the gossip to be on my name. Yo, a nigga, he'll help you though. You know what I'm saying? He will help you. Um, and as we know, we all not perfect. You know what I mean? But that's something that I definitely would strive to be. You know what I mean? But pretty much, what I took from the show, man, was just, it was free game. You know what I mean? He's talking about how the algorithm worked. And he kind of like really said something important, man. A lot of people depend on the algorithm, right? And me listening and hearing from someone like Kevin Lyles, who's been around, there's a lot of things I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was a rapper first. I didn't even know he was from Baltimore. You know what I mean? I thought he was from New York. And he was just breaking it down as far as the new coming, meaning algorithms, social media, YouTube, Google, the new coming, you know what I mean? Where, when you break in, it's like change is necessary. You know what I'm saying? And he broke it down in a manner to where, as though, when he came in the game, and changed a lot of things. And it's so on somewhat something like what's going on now, how the social media is changing the game. You know what I mean? How, you know, um, how recordings was done back then and it's not being done now. And it's needed, because this is how things begin to grow legs. You know what I mean? This is how things, you know, progress. This is how, things continue to, to keep moving for the better. You know what I mean? And he made a couple examples like, Musk, with the vehicles, ran off electricity. Um, it was something else that he was naming, but that was one as far as we adapting to change. You know what I mean? So I thought that was dope. You know what I mean? I took a lot from that conversation. It was a dope show, man. It definitely was a dope show. And it also reminded me that I still have a lot of work ahead of me. Even though I'm in a space that I'm in, you know, it never stops. You know what I'm saying? It never stops. And you know, hearing him kind of explain, you know, his journey and, you know, what it took for him to get to where he, you know, was at, which, you know, he started from the mud. You know, I started from the mud. You know what I mean? You didn't get no alley-oops and none of that. And I felt like, okay, well, you know, it kind of gave me the green light to know and understand that I'm on the right path. You know, because sometimes, you know, I question myself, like, damn, you know, like, you know, should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? And sometimes it's pretty much doing it the best way you feel is the best way. You know what I mean? And I jacked that. You know what I mean? So that was dope. You know what I mean? I definitely took a lot of nourishment from that. You know, and that's something definitely for me to grow on. You know what I mean? So that, you know, that right there, you know, it was fire. You know what I mean? So go check out, you know what I mean, Jim Jones, artist to artist, the Kevin Lyles joint. You know what I mean? For those who, who's trying to be entrepreneurs, you know, business owners, um, and that's, you know, that's trying to succeed in life. You know what I mean? Go check that out, man. It's definitely dope content, and I think everybody need to hear it. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, they see, you know, the overnight successes, you know, like the 6ix9ines, the the Drakes, the Soldier Boys. You know, everybody don't get lucky. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's something dope. Go check that out. Again, Jim Jones joint, artist to artist. You know. Now, as far as this sector goes, man, it's just nasty. You know what I mean? It's nasty. And for me, you know, I bumped into a wall, you know, when you're dealing with certain people and certain people know you and the people that you once, you know, dealt with, or, you know, you bigged up, or whatever, or however. And I ain't even gonna, you know, I'm not even gonna lie, but you know, the past maybe 2 weeks, I'm gonna say maybe 2 weeks or maybe a little more, I've been getting a lot of backlash, man, for other people though. You know what I'm saying? For other people, you dig, and it's kind of like you know what I mean? You gotta sit there, you gotta answer this, and you gotta answer that, and it's like, yo, you know, it's not even my doing. You know what I mean? So you got situations like, you know, you got this, you know, nosy, you know what I mean, running around, you know, getting on everybody panel crying, worrying about somebody else's well-being. You know, for me, it's corny. You know, that's just my perspective. I can't tell him how to run his show, how to do what he do. You understand? But for me, it's corny. You know what I'm saying? Because that, you know, and I'm gonna say this, it don't pay bills. And it's like, in the same breath, you know, he will say the same thing, but then he is still go back and reflect on what other people doing. Doing it to have fun is one thing, you know, and doing it out of malice is another. You know what I'm saying? I know because I once, you know, it was like kind of the same thing with me. You know what I mean? But again, you know, people be having they hitting agendas, um, you know, sitting in the bushes, eating the whole, you know, the banana with the peel. And it's disgusting. You know what I mean? It's sad. You know what I mean? It's sad. You know, so you know, for me, I'm still learning, you know, still learning, still digesting certain things, you know what I mean? And still figuring out the other certain things that I just need to shit out. You know what I mean? I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need to digest it. You know what I mean? And I'm still learning that. You know, trust me, I hear it every other day. You know what I mean? From my guys. You know, like, what are you still, dealing with certain people for? You know, if you want better, you got to do better. You know what I mean? If you want better results, you got to put yourself in a position where as though you can do better and you can get better results. You know what I mean? So, that's just one to grow on. Pause. You dig? Um, but when you start looking at things from afar, because I do think, as a content creator, you have to take a step back sometime and just woo-saw and just play the fan role. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with playing the fan role, especially now what's going on. Channels are being hit. Um, and it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. But it's pretty much you gotta know, what was that? Like, guard your grill. You gotta, protect your neck, man. I'm a firm believer in protecting my neck. You know what I mean? My situation on YouTube, it's not only a situation, but it's a representation of my brand, which is UNT Network. Short for us, never them. I see a lot of bozos. Oh, yo, you was just us, never them, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. UNT Network is a breakdown of us, never them. You know what I mean? I just broke it down. You know, same thing. You know, I just pretty much made it a network because I also have UNT Sports, Hip Hop, and Fashion as well. So that's why I broke it down. You know what I mean? That's why it's UNT Network. Because over here at UNT, we make the network. You know what I mean? But other than that, you just sit back and you watch other dudes do their thing. Some be stuck in the mud, can't get out their own way to save their life. And I'm not the one that throws shots because I once was that. You know what I mean? I was in my own way. Now I'm still in my own way. I'm still in my own way. You know what I mean? And I say that because, my situation is solidified already. You understand? And I hear people say, oh, yeah, you've been on for this long. You've been on for that long. You only got these much subscribers and you must got these. Y'all absolutely right. And that's because I'm in my own way. If I want better, I got to do better. You know what I mean? I got to put myself around better. If I keep coming up doing the same thing with the same people, how do I expect to grow? We all know on this side of the sector of YouTube, we ain't doing nothing but refurbishing subscribers, views. You leave one live, you go to another live, you salute the same person like at least 10, 20 times a day, when you just live hopping. So it's like, no new blood, and you say, oh, I'm trying to get to the algorithm, what I mean? I need more subscribers. And it's like you come on every time you press that live button and you're entertaining the same people. You can't ask yourself, why is that? You know what I mean? So, I understand that. You understand? So, the only way to fix it, you got to start with yourself. You know what I mean? You got to be okay with some type of change. Everybody know, the dudes I came in the game with, 050 the movement. You know what I mean? You see, they no longer around. You know what I mean? And once I stop being hard-headed, I don't have a problem with following. because they're showing success. They're showing growth. You know what I mean? And when I look at what I'm doing, it's the opposite. So why not? You know, so as y'all see, you know, I'm trying to get into the field doing a little more pre-uploads, less time. You know what I mean? Ain't got to be on live for 4 hours and 6 hours. You know, drop a little 30, 40-minute joint and let that do what it do. So that's, you know, my angle, you know, so this is why, I'm getting into a little more, you know, with the pre-upload game. So that, you know, that's what that's about. You know what I mean? And I mean, what's the worst can happen? You know, this, you know, and this is how the conversation is being had with me. What the worst can happen, Bucks? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely a student when it comes to that. And I don't mind. You know, it's not like the blind leading the blind. You know what I mean? These are guys that's sitting down, taking time out. They letting me know. But not only letting me know, they're showing me. It's on me being stubborn and not want to take heed. You know, so you know, that's that. You know what I mean? And you know, again, you know, I'ma still do my lives, you know what I mean? But you know, I'm gonna throw a little more pre-uploads out there, you know, less time. I ain't gotta be on live 4, 6 hours just to get a certain amount of views. You know, so it's just, you know, wanting better, you know, gotta do better. You know what I mean? So that's the space that I'm in with that. You know what I mean? Other than that, you know, again, like I said, I just wanted to pop out, you know what I mean, let y'all know where everything is at. The Bozo Awards is still poppino. We still in motion. You know, I just added the celebrity bozos. You know what I mean? So we'll be, you know, throwing a lot of celebrities underneath the bus and giving them that Bozo Award. You know, for those who feel like, you know, they're a celebrity or they're a rapper, they're actor, whoever. It could be whoever. And there ain't nothing wrong with giving them that award. You know, it's a lot of conversation going now. Shout out, you know, to the big bro, Bad Vibes, and Man Do the Warrior. They you know, they kind of, you know, step into the game, putting a lot of things out there. You know, pretty much that we was, you know, I mean, me personally, that I've been saying, you know, you got these entertainers now, they coming into our world and they just think that, you know, it's gonna be easy. You shouldn't say that and you shouldn't say this. Nah, shout out to Corey King, you know what I mean, the big bro. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. With 212. You know what I mean? I seen he did a little show about Jim Jones, you know, talking about people slandering and things. It been going on. You know what I mean? And now you see a lot of celebrities, they're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? They still in the page out of our book. You know what I mean? But I ain't up here to preach. You know what I mean? I just wanted to pop out, let y'all know I'm still around. You know what I mean? I'm just working, man. You know what I mean? I'm just working. Like I said, I want better. You know what I mean? So in order for me to get better, I got to do better. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody, you know, in the sector that's on that same path. You know, that's, you know, that want to do better. You know, shout out to them. You know, again, shout out to my man, Renegade Society Production. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man, El Plaga Trade Pound 7, aka Mr. Movie. You dig? Yeah, so you know, shout out to my man Artie. Like I said, we got something coming up that could drop any day. You know, that could drop any day, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, y'all just, you know, keep your eyes open. You dig? Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way in. Subscribe to the channel. Share the live. Go to my community wall. You know what I mean? Go check out that merch. Again, a website coming soon. Pause. Where it will only be my merch. It will only be my merch. You understand me? So I hope everybody had a nice holiday. You know, I hope everybody adopt the thought that every day should be your holiday. You know what I'm saying? Every day should be the holiday. You dig? It's like I'm a firm believer every day should be your birthday. You understand? Just for getting up in the morning. So again, I ain't come up here to preach. You know, I just wanted to come up here, let y'all know I'm still around. You know what I mean? Shout out to the supporters. I thank you in advance. Shout out to Asia, you know, holding the chat down, been rocking out. NY Nikki Baby, holding the chat down, been rocking out. You know, and we gonna keep winning over here. You know what I mean? It's UNC Network, we make that network. You understand? So y'all ready, man? On that one, you know, I'm gonna go out with a throwback. You know, to let y'all know that we still in the building.
So what? Bozo wanted it. Yo, stop the music, hold the phone. This ain't for the throne, it's for the clown who stood alone. This is for the dude who brought a spoon to a gunfight. This right here, this is your spotlight, you bozo. Dedicated grind music. Listen, Bozo, you been a bozo since Monday, wake up call. Tripped over your ego, took a legendary fall. You been bozoing hard, no cap, a total disgrace. Got lost in the building, forgot your own face. You seek the blunder, you hunt for the fail. Then come get this trophy, you winning by mail. This is for the bozo of the week. Bozo, bozo, you been a bozo all week. From your head to your torso, take this award. Don't you dare try to hide it, cause being a bozo is what you seek. So come on and claim it. You earned it. Just take it. You earned it. Regrets, man, you collect them like the limited editions. Made a wrong turn and started 3 new competitions. You bozo the meeting. You bozo the deal. You bozoed your lunch. How you mess up a meal, but you own it. You don't deny it. You walk in the flame. They call you a bozo. You just ask them to say your name. This is for the bozo of the week. Bozo, bozo, you been a bozo all week. From your head to your torso, take this award. Don't you dare try to hide it, cause being a bozo is what you seek. So come on and claim it. You earned it. Just take it. You earned it. What is a bozo is? It's a state of mind. Leaving common sense and all your reason behind. It's an art form, a masterpiece of oops. A permanent vacation in the land of whoops. So hold your head high, you magnificent man. You're the king of the clowns, putting skills to the test. Bozo of the week, yeah, you. Bozo. 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 Bozo.
And that's a fact. Make sure y'all don't be on that Bozo award list. And with that being said, salute. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. For the haters, right? Wispapino. Solution. It's only one Mr. SRB, you dig? And with that being said, it's your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. And I'm out. Wow.